Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV and a very, very special super fan debate as Arsenal make the trip to Stamford Bridge. A good recent record, but actually not a place that we've had a lot of fun over, well, the history of Arsenal's trips to Chelsea. But we've got everyone here to discuss it. We're going to have some debates. I'm going to unveil the question in a second. But first, that's because, you know, we're good hosts. We're going to introduce the Chelsea team over here. We've got Rory. Round of applause. Come on. Thanks for joining us. We've got Matisse as well. And of course, we've got Sophie as well.
Come on. That's why my clap was louder.
Glad to see they filled their seats.
Oh, look, you're making noise.
These jokes are made on camera.
It's not like the old days.
And on the Arsenal team, we've got Robbie, of course. We've got Lee Judges. And we've got Dennis Cecil.
I snuck in for this one.
Well, look, it's 3v3, and we're going to open. This is the first question of the day. This is one of two episodes you're going to get this very special super fan debate. The first question: who is the bigger club? Put that out there.
We're going to debate that, are we?
This became a bit of a discussion.
I think it's definitely. Do you know what's interesting though, with you saying it like that, Lee? I think at one point you were correct to be really snide about the question. At one point, in the relatively recent history, you were correct to just completely dismiss it as a question. I think that now it is a question. We can explore it and potentially we'll conclude that you're right, but I do think it's a question now.
Oh, we'll conclude that we're right. That
Potentially.
Oh, that sounds confident.
Chelsea's European heritage, so to speak. That is what makes this question so juicy, so tantalising, so tasty.
What are we in? We ain't in a Chelsea flash show here, are we?
Even before Roman, our European history was wonderful. But now, 2 Europa Leagues, which, by the way, you're in. So, congratulations, you're in the Europa League at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
Champions League, 2. Not 1, 2. So until you pick up 1, you're going to have to lower your voice when you talk to the pride of London, yeah? That's it. Chelsea are the biggest.
Bloody
European heritage.
I'll really let Chelsea finish their pitch. Sophie, what are your thoughts?
I think back in the day, maybe based on history, maybe you would have been, but I think in the last 10 years, I mean, until you guys can compete. No. Until you guys can compete with 2 European trophies, actually 3, because we've got a Europa League as well. 4? Yeah. Okay, 4. Mm-hmm. Then,
and the Super
I'm sorry,
Cup.
but statistically, Chelsea are.
We're not even talking about
It's more than that.
Yeah, Super Cup.
Yeah, but there's 71 cup winners. There's more than what Sophie said.
There's more.
Aston Villa bigger club than us.
Nottingham Forest, a big
you can talk to them.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
You have to take it up with the Villa fans.
No, I'm basing it off of your logic. Like Lee said, Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa bigger than us.
No, but it's not only based on Europe. It's not only, like that's something that is significant. Like I said, when I was a kid growing up, I grew up in North London. I grew up in North West London, Kilburn. There was no conversation. Arsenal was certainly superior. You were winning doubles. We hadn't won a trophy for 25 years. So when I was growing up, Arsenal were up there, Chelsea were struggling. But these things evolve, these things change. And I'd say that over the years, let's remember that over the past, you haven't won a Premier League for 2 decades. You also went 10 years without a trophy. In that time, Chelsea were winning doubles ourselves, which is something that you used to sing about doing that we'd never done. We obviously planted our flag in Europe loads of times. And Arsenal, I totally respect where Arsenal sit in the pantheon of great clubs. You are. But your European record is pitiful, isn't it? Your
European record,
European record.
Even before Abramovich, Chelsea have a better European record.
Arsenal, I have to say.
European record is not good enough. But if you look at Arsenal as a club, you factor in everything. You factor in
fans.
You've got more fans. I'll give you that.
Worldwide fan base.
You've definitely got more fans. You've definitely got a bigger stadium. Like they're non-negotiable.
Worldwide fan base much bigger. Right? Stadium bigger. Right? Renowned as a brand, despite the trophies.
Is it the kit releases?
Right? Bigger.
Not no carnivals.
I don't agree with that.
Bigger club, right? You know what I mean? And we, won the FA Cup the most times. We've got more league title wins than you as well. So a bigger club in this country.
Do you know a significant thing, Rob, that I don't think people talk about enough? What happened in Baku? I feel like that was sort of a moment where we were maybe.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it. That's why I'm talking about it.
That was a moment.
That's all you got. It's Baku, isn't it?
No, but Chelsea beating
Wembley.
Chelsea beating Arsenal in a European final
And Cardiff,
is a
I can
huge
mention Cardiff
statement.
as well.
That's a good point.
You're such a liar.
No, but Chelsea
You're a liar.
beating Arsenal in a European final is huge.
Yeah.
Like it is a huge statement.
No, it's not. It was the Europa League. If it was the Champions League, I would have said it was huge. But it was the Europa League final. It was not as huge as you're
But you
trying
can't
to. I see
sneer.
what you're
You
trying
can't
to do.
sneer at
I see what
European
you're trying to do.
silver.
That ain't working.
When
right?
you're in it,
I know Rory, man. I've been into
no. When you're in the Europa League, I guarantee you wanted to win it just as
course
much
you
as we
wanted
did.
to.
They're in it now.
We did.
They're in it now.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying, so you can't play it down now just because you didn't win it.
And also, let's just say, right,
Bodo Glimt.
you know,
Chill out.
a lot
place to go.
of a lot of those European wins that you guys have had and Premier League wins now come with a little asterisk next to it.
What is the asterisk?
No, you
What is that,
pay.
yeah?
Under the Abramovich era, we know
yeah.
we all know now that Abramovich has been disgraced.
Yeah.
Right, we saw what happened to you guys last season. At
Take
one,
them all away,
at
really.
one
Take
them
stage,
back.
at one stage, right? You know what I mean? Your club was
decent people won.
Did it? No, but at one stage, their club was looking like it would be no more. There'd be no more Chelsea.
Guys, you're being
sell
stupid.
No. So hold on. Let me just finish my point. Right, that is actually facts. At one point last season, Chelsea was in danger of being no more.
This is twice we've done
Right,
this.
and that's happened to you twice. And you remember, we all
It's our
remember
party trick, Robbie.
Save the bridge.
We never
But
actually
I'm
got-
saying
It's your party
the
trick. It's our
Abramovich.
party trick.
I'm
the
taking my
Abramovich-
pound down here, by the way.
the Abramovich era comes with
business somewhere else on
asterisk.
Sunday.
No, seriously, Abramovich era comes with an asterisk because he's now a disgraced owner, an owner who come in and just pumped
Right.
lots of money into it that has now been accepted that he should never even had the club in the first place because there's asterisks against those.
That's not true.
What is the Premier League is the English Premier League. What has England been funded by all that time? Russian money. So
Not at Arsenal.
the English Premier League,
Where's
you have
Usmanov?
to put
Where was
asterisks
Usmanov
next to
from?
all of the Premier League teams.
Where was Usmanov from?
He didn't own Arsenal.
But there's plenty of Usmanov money in
He
Arsenal.
didn't own Arsenal.
No, there was plenty of Usmanov money.
There's plenty of Russian money in England in general. Look at London. So you have to put asterisks next to all the English Premier League titles if you want to play.
Do you know what, Rob? If you
But how
start
do you get
putting
that logic from?
Just because you're saying that it's flawed.
No, I'm saying your owner is now this is facts.
Do you
He's a
apply-
disgraced owner.
But that's not an excuse
There's
for
that
why you haven't
asterisk.
done so well.
But can I've got to say that, there's an argument that Spurs are the second biggest club in
What, bigger than you?
in London.
I don't know that anyone
what I
said
mean?
that.
No, seriously. And they've won nothing. But people will in turn say, like, Tottenham are a bigger club than Chelsea.
I've never heard that
Tottenham
in my
fans.
life.
Tottenham fans.
Well, no, but
Tottenham fans.
Yeah.
in my day, they were. Like,
They were. When I was growing up, they were.
Yeah,
In your day,
we
that
got
was
to
like
talk about
50
that.
years
For
ago.
that, Sophie. No, to be rude.
Let go. She's gone once. She's gone last.
But no, seriously, it was, but Spurs are known as this big club, and they've not got trophies. You know what I mean? So is it compared to on
But
trophies?
Lee,
or is it compared on
when you're
fans?
saying that Tottenham are a big club, by the way, I'm not too sneery about that. They are. But when they were bigger than Chelsea, and when you're suggesting that they were seen as being bigger than Chelsea, that's because they were the first team that won the double. So the trophies were significant to your perception of them.
Well, no, in the 80s. And
Yeah, they were
all that,
winning
it wasn't
cups. They were winning cups.
Yeah, but so were Chelsea. All right, in the 90s, I still feel. I don't know.
Yeah, in the
I'm
90s,
asking
they won the FA Cup in 91, didn't they? So at that point, you could make a case for them being bigger at that point. And the reason that you saw them as being bigger
I
was because
think
they were winning trophies.
if you speak to Spurs fans, they're all going to turn around and say that they're a bigger club than Chelsea. And it's got nothing to do with trophies. They would say it's because of fan base and what I'm backing up with that.
that's it.
Arsenal have got the fan base.
That's the case.
and
We are
also
definitely
trophies.
bigger club.
You've got more fans, no doubt. But also, Lee, when you've said that, you've almost made a mockery of the point. You can't go, if you talk to Spurs fans, they'll tell you that. Yeah, of course they will. But
They say anything.
I mean, they'll also tell. I mean,
I retract that.
Cecil, let me ask you, as someone who's actually played the game and kind of been at different clubs.
Go on.
One thing we've seen with Arsenal is they've dropped out of Europe, fallen out of the Champions League, even the Europa League, still an ability to attract players. Gabriel Jesus from Man City, been out of Champions League football 5-6 years, Aubameyang, Partey. What do you think players are thinking of when they're determining a big club and why they'd still want to come at a club like Arsenal?
Because of the heritage of Arsenal Football Club. And
what's heritage? What is
the fact, like there's the fan base, the support you get, the history of it, the icons that have played for Arsenal Football Club. It's a huge club, and we don't have to fork out millions and millions like Chelsea have to do. We have to bring in these big players. Players come because it's Arsenal Football Club. It's a massive, massive club, and I think
Gabriel Jesus is there out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah,
Gabriel Jesus isn't getting paid, is it?
Maybe a little bit, to be fair. We've been shit.
But that's not true, Cecil, because you've complained for years that your owners won't spend enough money. Players. So that's a statement.
We're not spending a lot of money, but players are still coming because how big Arsenal Football Club
No, I
are.
think they're coming because it's London and they want to be in London. And it is a good club.
That's a great point he makes here, because
it's the biggest
it's a great point he makes, because Chelsea have to
fork out loads of money.
Loads of out wages to get to. It's a great
So let me
point.
ask you
It's the
this.
truth.
Why did Ashley Cole leave? Why did Van Persie
Money.
and Fabregas?
No, because they wanted to win trophies.
And Clichy and Sang.
Do you think
Fabregas was a little
do you think
pit stop
Ashley
to
Cole
Barcelona
dreamed of playing for
before?
Chelsea when he was a kid?
Well, he dreams now, and he dreams because he wins the Champions League. And all the players that have kind of transferred across from Arsenal to Chelsea.
No one.
A lot of it is money.
Back in the day, Chelsea players left Chelsea to go to Spurs because it was a bigger club. Jason Cundy, etc., etc.
What did he win?
Not the other way round. The reason they went to Chelsea now is because of Abramovich and the money, not because they were a bigger club. That is a fact.
But now people come to Chelsea because
you can't just present it.
I actually know, I'm not honest, I know a player that's left a big club to go to Chelsea, and it was predominantly because of money. So I think a lot of that is that as well. I don't think it's because of how big your club is.
It's got to be. Chelsea are the most likely club where you could win silverware over the past
That's not the question.
decade.
That's not the question. It's just a bigger club. I agree with that. Like Chelsea over the years, but like the likes of players went there because one, they're going to get the best money, and two, they're going to win trophies. But it's not because they're the biggest club. And that's the question that you ask.
No, I don't. I think
But what does
using
that mean,
players
though?
signing for a club
That's the question.
Players don't sign for big clubs, though. A player's motivation isn't to sign for the biggest club. Look who's playing for Man City. If you wanted to sign for the biggest club, nobody would play for Man City. They'd all play for Man United.
It's another club that you're mentioning there that bought it, isn't it? This is basically what you guys have done.
No, but
in your desperate quest to catch up to teams like Arsenal.
Did you guys not spend a lot of money?
Hold on.
In a desperate quest to catch up with teams like Arsenal.
But I think it's unjust.
You, Man City, basically, you bought it.
It's unjust to draw parallels between Chelsea and Man City is unjust. Manchester City were playing.
They've done exactly the same thing that you done.
It's a completely different starting point. Manchester City were playing Gillingham when Chelsea were playing in the San Siro in '99.
There was a stage.
Chelsea have been relegated.
Yeah, absolutely. But how far back can we go here?
Well, that's the question. And also, how much do Champions Leagues and trophies, and especially recent history, what's Chelsea the last 20 years, you've been racking up these trophies. When does the narrative change? How many trophies? What's the point in which you
That's a great point. It's a great point
we need to
because
look at it
one of the
differently now.
biggest teams through my life growing up and everything like that, and you don't associate them being as two clubs, if I'll be honest, were Leeds United and Everton.
They're both huge clubs.
They're huge clubs, but you don't regard them as huge clubs now because of what Rory's saying. They've not won trophies and all that. You know what I mean? So that is a point.
Yeah.
But
Arsenal, hold on, Sophie, let me finish. Arsenal are still winning trophies along their boundaries.
You went a decade without a trophy.
Do you know what? No, but I think that's where it shows that we're such a big club, right? Because that we could go for so long without winning a trophy, without winning the Champions League, and we're still regarded worldwide as a massive club. Would that be the same with Chelsea?
Well, we don't know because we don't have that
win
problem.
No, but would that be the same? And you know
Well,
what?
you're going through it now.
Maybe those times are about to come for
But
Chelsea.
the players that you've attracted...
Maybe those times are coming.
We need to put some perspective on the players that you've attracted. Gabriel Jesus was on the bench most of the time for Manchester City. You haven't brought in Mbappe, you haven't brought in Haaland. So how big is this Arsenal pool that you're discussing? I think you're overinflating it. Was Atletico Madrid? Yeah, a very good player, but you're not taking players from Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG. So you need to kind of put it into perspective, in my opinion.
Who does?
Big clubs. Man City have taken a Real Madrid target.
Manchester City, never a big club. Manchester City would not be taking any player unless they've got the money they've got now. And Chelsea would never have took Ashley Cole or anybody like that without Abramovich. You would never have done.
I think he went. No, I think he went to Chelsea because he wanted to win trophies. But aside from that,
because of Abramovich.
The pull was the money.
Okay, but no. How do you define a big club though? Like, you know, when we have the big derbies now and everything like that, they don't call it the top six; they call it the big six. So are we basing a big club on how many trophies you've got, what your fan base is, how many kits you sell? Like, what are we basing it on? History?
It's all of the above.
I've also done something that other clubs haven't done.
No. But in that case, then there's a different answer for each category.
Yes.
I just feel right that sometimes you've got some clubs that they're big, yeah. Even if they're not winning nothing, people still say, you know, that's a big club. If your Man United don't win nothing, which they haven't now for a while, they're still a big club.
But Manchester United are in a case they're in a league of their own.
They're still a big club. When Liverpool weren't winning anything, yeah. For quite a while, Liverpool went on quite a long period. Everyone's still like Liverpool, big club.
I think that's still
right.
Maybe
Arsenal,
it's you, but
big club, but I don't think until the money turned up at Chelsea, you couldn't say that with Chelsea.
But
Chelsea would be how we look at a West Ham now. We would say good club.
Rob, that's not accurate.
We've got a great fan base, but not big club, like well-renowned. That only came when the money came.
We've got to explore that. Hang on, like to the West Ham comparison is offensive.
Yeah.
No, because when I was growing up, West Ham were bigger. West Ham were a bigger club.
So you've drawn a parallel
Chelsea.
between Chelsea pre-Abramovich and West Ham. West Ham United last won a trophy in 1980. Frank Lampard's dad scored, right? Or certainly played. 1980.
No, but the point I'm trying to make, Rory, is that you can...
But pre-Abramovich, think about Chelsea pre-Abramovich. So look at Chelsea in the 10 years prior to Abramovich's arrival.
That's still a load of money pumped in at that time.
But it's still... Hang on, you drew the line at Abramovich. You made it an Abramovich thing, and now I've said it's not only an Abramovich thing, now you've made it...
No, because the reason why I'm saying the Abramovich thing is because you started to talk about the European trophies. And then that's when that started to come in. Because
But the European trophies came before.
He was basically able to
What year though was it before? What year was it before Abramovich that Chelsea won the league?
55.
There you go.
But so we went 25 years.
55.
But are you asking who's the bigger club now?
But that's not. But that, so we went 25 years without a trophy. We went from 55 to 97 without a trophy. But then from 97, which is still very much Bates' era.
Yeah,
from 97 to 03, which is when Abramovich came in, 04. From 97 to 04, we won an awful lot of silverware, including European silverware that took us above the amount of European silverware that you've done. That's all prior to
Rory.
Abramovich. And in that period, you're looking like Vialli that year won basically every cup that you could win in that one season. Ruud Gullit took Chelsea and made history. He became the first black manager to lead Chelsea into an FA Cup final and win it. Yep. This is all pre-Abramovich. This is all pre-Abramovich stuff. We won the last FA Cup at the old Wembley. We won the first FA Cup at the new Wembley. Like we were making records prior to...
You're not like, you have won trophies and all that.
But do you see why the West Ham Man City thing has riled you?
Yeah, it rattled you a little bit.
Man City was losing.
Robbie knows what he's doing.
I don't believe Man City. I think Man City won out West Ham. I think Man City did win the league in the 70s.
Man City was losing 8-1 to Middlesbrough at the Riverside. That's who you've compared us with. That can't.
Yeah, but you guys were also in, you know what I mean, you weren't in the top division for a lot.
Yeah, you and Everton relegated two teams to be in the top division the whole time, to be fair. You and Everton.
Yeah, I've never been.
You don't need to remind us of that.
Yeah, we know that.
Another reason why.
Although there's an asterisk around some of that. You love an asterisk. There's an asterisk around some of that, isn't there? Because didn't you buy your way back in? Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Did we have the highest attendance as well?
There's an asterisk.
The highest attendance?
The record, did we not have the record attendance for a while?
Where?
There was a time we played Spartak Moscow.
Yeah.
What was the attendance?
Did you say we played
16 cars and around a running track like that. 15 dogs running around it. I remember those days at Chelsea.
Yeah, they used to have that dog track. Yeah, that's true.
And the pigeons
as well. You had a greyhound track going round the grounds.
You'll be familiar with that. Those are some of the teams that you visit in the season.
Pay $2.99, you've got car park spaces as well.
There's some greyhound tracks in the Europa League.
When they done the double, that was like, you know, they won a trophy and a dog won.
Look at Andy, he's like,
he's delighted at it.
Yeah, that's a big
trophy for that as well.
We're coming towards the end, guys. We're going to come to a conclusion somehow. But what I do want to ask the Chelsea guys is, if you believe that Chelsea are the bigger club, what was the turning point? 'Cause I'm going to hold my hands up. I'm not going to give away what I think, but When you won that second Champions League, I did start to think,
Yeah, but the line in the sand for me, when it actually became a proper conversation, like as I acknowledged at the beginning of this video, when I was a kid, we wouldn't have had this debate. It would have been a mockery to discuss the David Rocastle team and compare it to the Pat Nevin team. It would have been a complete mockery of a video. But the reason it's a conversation now, the line for me was Baku. That was the moment where I thought, okay,
more so than the Champions League second win.
Yeah. The conversation started for me at Baku.
Seeing the European trophies they win.
I think the second Champions League was definitely a massive moment because it was like, we're not just once fluke. No, we've asserted ourselves in European history now. We've got 2 and we're 1 away from Manchester United. I think Wenger's 1,000th game was a lovely touch as well. I'm not going to lie.
You had to. We need to win the whole video. So, Sophie, what was the moment for you, just out of interest?
I don't know if there was a specific moment, but what I will say is I think probably much like what you just said, like when we won the second one, I think it's really difficult because I think football just gets better every year. I think there are better players coming through, like Haaland and whatever. So to win a Champions League is so difficult, and to win it twice in the space of what?
10 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah, I think 8, 9 years.
Yeah,
Nottingham Forest are a
crazy.
massive club then, they've done it twice in 2 years.
Hold on a minute.
trophies
If
are
you had
equal.
won,
If
if you
you
had
had
won 2 Champions League trophies, you would be shouting from the rooftops.
And remember, do you know the other thing that nobody's mentioned? Do you know the other thing that nobody's mentioned? The reason that you haven't got one is Chelsea. Wayne Bridge.
Yeah.
The reason that you don't have one is Chelsea.
Yeah, we would have won it.
Well, from the Arsenal perspective, what started to change my mind back a little bit, and not to say that Chelsea didn't have a fantastic representation out there, but we were all there, was Orlando. And I was really blown away by kind of the Arsenal fan base and the numbers there. And Chelsea fans as well came in their numbers, but it kind of opened my eyes. First time I'd done a tour like that, when you realise how massive these clubs are around the world and the supporter base.
Do you know what I realised? Our host is Arsenal.
Yeah.
This is not fair.
Yeah. You only just realised?
That is a great point. Wherever you go,
Do you know what it is? No Chelsea fan.
You are sneaky.
No Chelsea fan. No
You are
Chelsea fan would
sneaky.
ever. There is no conversation to be had. In terms of more fans, Arsenal swamp Chelsea in terms of numbers. That's not a debate.
In all seriousness, the thing I would say, right, is that you have trumped us for trophies over the years,
100%.
right?
I think they've won the most trophies.
They have, and the job in which they've done is transforming themselves. They are a worldwide club now. I mean, I think at one time, if you went abroad, you wouldn't find many Chelsea fans. Now, I'd say it's Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea. Them 4 clubs. Anywhere you go in the world,
original 4.
you see, so they have, but. Could things be changing? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
I'm starting to think that because Abramovich was, all right, maybe I said the asterisk, right? I'm being a bit mischievous with that, but he was such an influential figure, right? And so important to your success that our time's changing now. I think they might be. I agree.
I think they're changing, but they're changing in a different direction. Like, it's Man City.
Yeah.
It's not changing in your direction.
You never know.
I think the way to answer that question is a combined 11. So we're going to do that in a little bit. We're going to round off this show very quickly. Lo, let's get your final thoughts. Who's a bigger club?
Arsenal.
Don't give us something.
Yeah. Arsenal.
Go on, Rory.
I think it's tight, but I'm going to go Chelsea.
Chelsea all day.
I'm going
It
to
is
go
close.
Chelsea.
Okay, and I'm not going to have this deciding vote.
No, you are not.
You made Sophie influencing you.
Excuse me.
Don't be influenced by 'em.
This is like bias.
He's been
very fair.
He's wearing an Arsenal jumper.
He's in an Arsenal chair with an Arsenal badge.
with an Arsenal
badge.
This is very interesting, very
Darling,
cool.
you're inappropriate.
We
The
didn't have a
black
chance
crest
here,
and all works quite well. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. You let us know in the comment section. I know it's AFTV, but you Chelsea fans will be watching it. So let us know in the comment section as well who you think is the bigger club. Is it Arsenal? Is it Chelsea? That Champions League, that second one especially, make a massive difference. Does that Invincibles record? We didn't even touch on that. Yeah. Just put Arsenal in another league. Who knows?
We're down the rabbit.
Would have been done, by the way.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Big thanks for joining us. Go check out the Combined 11, which is out very shortly as well. The same people here, they'll be debating those positions. I can't wait for it. We'll see you in a bit.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.